Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. One of the best ways to ensure you have minerals your body needs for healthy bones and soft tissue is to take advantage of this month's great special, Coral Calcium Plus. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447. That's 800-370-3447.
Listen to Healthline daily at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on CRN.
Animal lovers, it's time for Rescue Radio. And now here are your hosts, Christina Hackett and Chad Atkins.
Good morning. Oh, I think we just went up.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. This is Rescue Radio. I'm Christina Hackett.
And I'm Chad Atkins. How are you today, Miss Hackett?
Made it here again, so it's fantastic. I am fired up today.
Are you?
This people and the neglect and their uneducation and
so there seems to be a story.
There is a story.
So tell me, what is firing you up this morning?
So what's firing me up this morning is I have a baby girl that I pulled out at the shelter.
Okay.
And one of those situations. It's like, how many of these pregnant mamas can we have in a shelter? So, and there's so many different aspects to that. So this morning I pulled a pregnant mama out of Downey. And so this morning she went into labor. She had one and it was deceased. And so I had to end up rushing her to the emergency room to see what else, if there's any other live babies. She was having difficulty. There was a lot of blood. So then in the middle of loading up to come to do the show, Lexi, thankfully, she was able to get to the house. We loaded scared mama. Okay, yeah. She comes from a shelter. She knows me because she's been with me now for, a month and a half or so, but scared because she's like, I don't know, Lexi, what are you doing sitting me with her? And she's on her way to the emergency room. And this is because people are not spaying and neutering their pets.
So what is firing you up is that people, and for lack of a better word, and I'm probably going to, upset some people, ignorant people, do not know the benefits and understand why you need to spay and neuter your pets.
Well, it's just when you hear someone, and I've had people, and people know, we're in rescue.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
People know we're in rescue. And they say to us, well, I want my children to watch her go through the experience.
The miracle of birth.
Right.
Yeah, you can bite me with the miracle of birth.
Exactly. and so I'm like, have them watch a video.
Right.
Right. And now I'm looking at this mama. And she's trying so desperately to save her baby, right? She's licking it, and she ends up a little. It's gory, but she splits open the stomach. She's really trying to revive the baby and bring the baby back. And I'm like, do you want your children to see that?
Exactly.
And my husky puppies from 2 weeks ago, the mama, she's undernourished and so she thinks she can't take care of all 4 of them.
So she started eating her puppies.
So I have 2 puppies where their legs are chewed off. Do you want your children to see that? Is that something they need to experience?
Well, that's why Paw Works. We're monthly. We would love to do it, 3 to 5 days a week, but monthly we're doing a spay and neuter clinic in Oxnard because 43% of the animals that come into the shelter in Ventura County come from Oxnard.
Because they need the experience. Someone needs the experience. No, I'm sorry.
I would, anytime anybody tells me that, I ask them, would you like to walk with me through the shelter and watch them euthanize an animal?
Well, and
because
the
that's
mom,
an experience too. If you're gonna get the experience of birth, let's give you the experience of death
of what
as well.
happens when they're full. So, and the other thing that I see in the shelters, and I know that you see this too, is you see a mama in shelters because they're like, oh my gosh, these puppies, it's so much work, right? So then what happens at the shelter? If a foster or rescue group doesn't pull that mom and puppies, then they're not going to make it out. And so do you really want to sentence your puppy to death?
I don't understand it because Yeah, it just blows my mind. I have no idea why anybody would want to experience the miracle of birth.
They dump the puppies, mama and puppies at the shelter.
We're in 2015. I think there's enough technology out there. If you want to experience it, you can experience it on
Let's watch
online.
it on video. Yeah, someone's got a video of it.
But we're already to our commercial break, so we can talk about this more, and you can be more fired up.
Right.
You're listening to CRN Digital Talk Radio.
This is Larry Elder with an Elder Minute and a Father's Day story right after this.
Listen to the Larry Elder Radio Show. Just dial pound 250, and when prompted, say CRN Talk. The CRN app will be text message to your phone. Call pound 250 and say CRN Talk.
My latest book, Dear Father, Dear Son, 2 Lives, 8 Hours, is about my tough Marine father. He was an only child, born during the Jim Crow South to an illiterate mother. He never met his father and was kicked out of his house at age 13, right before the Great Depression. He was a janitor until his 40s when he finally saved enough to open a small restaurant, Elder Snack Bar, 1230 South Valencia Street. Hard work wins, he'd say. You get out of life what you put into it. You can't control the outcome, but you 100% control the effort. When things go wrong, go to the mirror and ask, did I do everything possible to change the outcome? Well, happy Father's Day, Dad. I'm Larry Elder, and this has been an Elder Minute.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
So Miss Hackett, you got me all fired up now this morning. I was all nice and calm. I had my tea. I'm all relaxed.
Right?
Then you come in here like a firestorm and get things going.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And people need to know. And so I'm emotional, and the rescue groups take this on. We're the ones that are dealing with this every day. So when we have pregnant mamas, and in the shelter, how many times do we see a mom that's in there and protective of her babies?
Well, what kills me even worse is when you don't have the mom in there. And I see this plenty because, Ventura County is now no kill. So sometimes you don't know where to put all these animals. So I see puppies, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks old, and they're in general population. And you see these 4 or 5 puppies together, all huddled, with all the dogs barking, terrified, not understanding what's going on, what happened, where their mom is, where their people are. And there's, 200 dogs barking around them.
Well, and people are so stupid to think, they're puppies, they'll get adopted. If the shelter lets them out.
Exactly.
If they can.
And by law, you can't spay and neuter a puppy until they're 8 weeks or 2 pounds.
Well, you don't want to. You don't want to. I mean, for their own health, and so they have regulations for them to get adopted. They have to, like the rescue groups, we all have rules and regulations. They have to be spayed and neutered when they leave our program. So it's just such a cluster. It's so infuriating.
We almost had to use that little bleep.
Exactly. I don't know where the bleep button is here. But, I really think that people need to be educated and understand. And I think that this situation it's really out of control. Right now, kitten season.
Let's
you
not
and
go
I
with
both.
The kittens.
Yeah. Kittens have been very, very difficult, and they're very,
and they're very volatile.
And it's been emotional. I know Paul Works and Animal Foundation of America. We've gone through a number of things the last few weeks, working with these kittens and just trying to help them.
And people don't realize the amount. They're cute. They're cute when they're nursing on mom. They're cute, when their eyes are closed. And then you get to 2, 3, 4 weeks and they start opening their eyes and they start wanting, regular food. And then you have a huge mess. And that's when people just discard them because they don't realize. If you have one baby, a human baby, and it's difficult and you're tired, imagine adding 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 puppies to that. Because
they have so many, especially with the cats.
But that's the mentality of a dog. You have a mentality of an animal, which is a 3, 4-year-old child having puppies.
Right. Well, or I've got a kitten right now. They have her aged at about 8 months, but she has a litter.
Wow.
So she just early litter. She's just a kitten herself. And they're like, oh yeah, let them free. And I just spoke to someone. I was talking on the phone, and because I told you I was fired up today. I'm like so angry because people need to spay and neuter their pets. And, so I was talking to them and they said, yeah, well, it used to be you would pick, 1900s, you would pick one of the litter and then they would put them in a black bag and drown them in the river. Oh. Like that's what humans did. And I'm sitting here looking at it going, well, what are humans doing now? They're just dumping them in the shelter.
Oh yeah. Like, it's no better or worse. I mean, we have the technology to kill them a little easier, and we don't have to drown them in a bag. But now we either, some states still have the gas chamber,
right?
So they do that, or you do a needle, and it's in the shelter. It's not a two-step process like you would when you go to your vet. They don't nicely put them to sleep, and they're snoring away, and then you inject and stop their heart. That's not the way it happens in a shelter. It's one shot to the heart, and they're dead.
Oh my gosh.
And what people don't realize, let's take, dogs who are non-aggressive, they tend to, it's a little easier because they're being held. But let's take a feral cat or an aggressive dog. Do you know how traumatic that is in the last minute of their life, knowing that everything's coming to an end and they're fighting because that's their natural instinct?
Yeah, to live. It's their instinct to live.
Am I about to make you cry over here?
No, it's like I'm going between being so angry and I just think about them because every life matters. And sometimes I do. I want to cry because people don't get it. And they need to understand what happens. They need to know what's happening in these shelters. The shelter people can't do it differently. We need to.
And so, today we would love to talk about spaying and neutering because it's something that's near and dear to both of our hearts, and both of us are trying. You're working with an organization, Bark Avenue Foundation. We've started working with Valley Vet and bringing it into Oxnard, which other organizations have done as well, but it's a huge focus this year for us. So we'd love to talk to people. You can call us at 818-353-1276, but I think we have somebody online right now.
Yes, we have Darlene with Bark Avenue. So she's working with Melanie, and she does a fantastic job. They do, you're doing the spay and neuter right now in Oxnard, which is it's a low income area. Yes. And so people can't afford it. So you're bringing spay and neuter to Oxnard. And I know Melanie's doing
I have to say something about that is people don't realize, because if you know Ventura County at all, Oxnard tends to be on the lower income. However, it is the richest city in Ventura County because it's business driven. So being the richest city in Ventura County with the lowest income-based people, it's really an interesting fact that they don't have more spay and neuter programs and clinics out there to help their community.
I mean, we have to change this. So I know Paul Works is doing a lot, and Bark Avenue is doing a lot. So I'm going to go ahead. So Darlene, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Darlene. How are you?
So Darlene, we have about a minute left in this segment, but we'll bring you back after the commercial breaks. But tell us what's going on with you guys right now.
So right now, Bark Avenue Foundation is working in the East LA area, in Boyle Heights, Montecito Heights, East LA, Compton, those areas. We actually are we have a sponsorship with Humane Society, so Pets for Life program. And we definitely, of course, we go into an area that's truly needed. But definitely when somebody comes up to us and they're not in that zip code, for sure, I mean, it's about the animals, about getting them fixed and doing what's right so that we don't have this overpopulation problem because, of course, it's tremendous and it's discouraging at times.
So let me ask you, Darlene, in that area, what are the local shelters that normally, if you guys weren't doing spay and neutering and puppies came in, where would they go to?
They go to Downey Shelter, which is a high skill shelter, and it's
Do you know any of their statistics at all?
Well, they're high.
Yeah.
They're very high.
I do have them somewhere. Maybe after the commercial break, I'll find them. I'll be able to find the statistics, but I do have statistics.
Only because I want people to realize the amount of animals that go into that shelter and the amount of animals that actually get euthanized, killed every year, and what Bark Avenue is trying to do, and other organizations such as you are really trying to do and bring attention to Downey in that area. We do the same in Ventura County, but it's something to be commended, I think, on all our parts, because until we change base problem, which is overpopulation.
Exactly. We have to stop it where it's starting. So, and I think that's what PawWorks is doing by Spay and Neuter Clinic. I know Bark Avenue is doing that with their Spay and Neuter Clinic, and that's where it has to start. So that we have less of these pregnant mommies in the shelter where rescue groups are pulling them and getting their heart broken because they're sitting there trying to like help these moms and these puppies survive.
But we'll talk to you, Darlene, when we come back. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
35 years ago, a few million people a year got a CT scan. Now 80 million do. But is it necessary? I'm Aileen Ellis. CT scans emit radiation, and according to Consumer Reports, researchers estimate that 2% of all future cancers in the U.S. may come from CT scans alone. So when is it the test to have? When you've got a head injury from a car crash, an undiagnosed abnormal neurological exam, weakness or tingling on one side of your body, and when a child loses consciousness. CT scans are also good for lung cancer screenings if you've smoked a pack of cigarettes a day for 30 years, or to diagnose a pulmonary embolism, a potentially fatal clot. Some questions to ask your doctor: why is this CT scan necessary? How will the results affect my treatment? What will happen if I skip it? And this final question: since I had a CT scan of that area recently, isn't that good enough? That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio, CRN Digital Talk. Okay.
So, Ms. Hackett, you've just totally thrown our schedule out today. We will be talking about Jets Joint because it's going to tie into the spay and neuter today.
Yes.
But I think we also still have Darlene on the line. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Darlene. We're going to also, we have, shortly, we're going to have the vet's office because the spay and neuter, and obviously,
what's Jets Joint all about today?
Okay, so Jets Joint it's medical cases, and so every rescue group has medical cases that we're contending with, and I know Bark Avenue, Aoife, even though your primary focus is spay and neuter, I do know that you guys have a soft heart and you can't turn away these puppies that come into your spay and neuter clinic. I know it from personal experience, obviously, because quite a few of them have ended up in foster care at my house. So, excuse me. So, Darlene, I want to, I just want to go into a little bit more about what you guys are doing and the importance of it and the overall, it's important for them to spay and neuter their pets to stop this problem. Like rescue groups can only do so much. I mean, we've only got so much resources. And I know that you guys are doing a number of great things over there, again, in a low income area. And you guys go out there with flyers. Give us an idea of what you guys do out there.
Okay, so basically what we do is we go out four times out of the month, and we go to the Compton and the East LA areas, and we probably spay or neuter up to 50 dogs and cats at one clinic. So so we do probably about 200, roughly 200. And if we cannot take them at the clinic, we will send them to a standalone vet hospital. We will not turn them away.
Amazing. So when is your guys' next clinic, and how does someone reach out to you?
So our next clinic is on the 27th.
Okay.
And it's over in Compton. And that's in East LA. It's on it's at 3600 Cesar E. Chavez at the Superior Grocers. And they can call us at they can call myself at 562-652-0837, or they can also email me at darlene@barkavenuefoundation.org. And I wanted to give you some statistics because in 2014, I'm looking at them now, just in the three zip codes alone, 90022, 32, and 63, there was, in that year of 2014, there was 10,722 dogs and 9,283 cats.
Wow.
So that was a total of 20,005 just in 2014 alone.
Just in those three zip codes?
Three zip codes.
And do you have any idea how many actually
So euthanasia, they actually, right now they do, which is amazing. They have a lot of transports that go out of there. And
Wings of Rescue is flying a lot out, I know.
Right, and I know Best Friends is there, and so is Heigl Foundation of ASPCA, and so a lot of organizations are taking a lot. So they had, as far as euthanasia, in 2014, those three zip codes was 9,364.
So a little less than 50%.
Yeah.
And what I want to actually say about that too, because PawWorks has done flights as well. We work with the Washington organization, Auburn Humane Society. What people need to realize is it's great to do transports. It alleviates the pressure at the current shelter, the current area. However, there is going to be a point. Maybe it's 5 years down the road, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 3, who knows? But there's going to be a point where there's not shelters to send these animals to, that we're going to be oversaturated everywhere.
That's why we have spay and neuter.
So the whole key is spay and neuter. That is the only true way to make a difference.
You have to start it. You have to stop it where it starts. So, Darlene, I really think that what you guys are doing is fantastic. I know that that you could always use bilingual volunteers out there, and I'm sure PawWorks can as well.
Oh yeah.
But so, Darlene, I'm not sure. I know I kind of just threw you in here and talked to you about spay and neuter, but I have a mama right now that's going into emergency surgery, and my vet was gonna come on, but she's prepping for surgery right now, so we're still working on that, but she's sitting there and it's like, as a rescue group, I pulled this little girl out of Downey, and now she's going in for an emergency C-section. They did ultrasound. There's 2 babies that are still alive in there. And, obviously I want to take care of mama, but I want to take care of the puppies also. And people don't understand that this mama would not have made it out of Downey Shelter. She was extremely aggressive, and scared out of her mind. And so we have to take care of it at the very beginning. We have to work on spay and neuter. So I want to thank you very much, Darlene, for calling.
Thank you, Darlene. And when we come back, we will actually be doing our Pet of the Week, which is also from a backyard breeder out in Oxnard. So we'll tell his story, Athos. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Thank you.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. If you haven't been to Columbo's, you don't know what you're missing. Delicious food. The steaks on this side are fabulous. The seafood so fresh and flavorful. Columbo's family Italian specialties are Southern California legendary, and the meatballs, the best in the West, North, South, and East. Plus service that's friendly but not fawning. And jazz every night, and it's also affordable. That's what makes Columbo's special. And they make special easy, whether for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's why when you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, making special easy every day. Columbo's, mangia.
Are you groggy when you wake up? Dr. Christopher Hardy.
In the morning, if you're not getting bright light exposure, your brain still thinks there's not a good signal to turn off the regeneration mode at night and prepare you for activity during the day. In modern society, with artificial light at night, very poor indoor office lighting during the day, we're not really getting the signals we need to kind of synchronize our clocks.
Dr. Hardy studies body clocks. He says they run best when we're exposed to bright natural light in the day and darkness at night. One thing you can do to help the internal clock system work better is to cut down on the amount of artificial light you see before bedtime, especially the blue light that computers, cell phones, and TVs put out.
Get some amber-tinted safety glasses, and believe it or not, you can put those on and they'll block out the blue light exposure from TV.
Then your body clock ramps up into sleep mode. Dr. Hardy's book is called Strong Medicine. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Homeowners, there's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home and loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Call now. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
My name is Larry Elder, also known as the Sage from South Central Los Angeles. Join me weekdays right here on CRN Digital Talk at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I will engage political and cultural leaders in meaningful debate over race, government, personal responsibility, and education. I'm a fiscal conservative, social liberal, and my views have fueled controversy with the most in-demand radio personalities and cable pundits all across the country. So join me, Larry Elder, right here on CRN Digital Talk weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.
Go over this. Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
So today, and this ties perfectly, I didn't even realize that you were going to come fired up today about spay and neutered. I'm glad you did because, like I said, it's near and dear to our heart because we've started doing it since March every month. This month we're actually doing 3. We're doing 2 at the shelter to help them empty their shelter for animals that are adoptable but haven't been adoptable yet. So right now for Father's Day, they're doing an empty the shelter to get all the pitties out, all the chihuahuas, anybody.
I saw that. They're doing a no charge, right?
0 charge as long as they're over, I think, 8 months. There is 0 charge. For cats and dogs.
Well, because every shelter has to get ready. People don't understand. July 5th is Day of Death.
No, even before. 4th of July, when people start shooting off fireworks, it's insane.
Yes.
the amount of animals that come in. And it's not just the fireworks. What's even worse is people go out of town on vacation. So and they don't want to pay the $30, $40, $50 to board their dog for, the 3 to 5 days they're out of town.
Call a pet sitter.
So what do? They drop it off at the shelter. So this little guy,
this guy's adorable. He's giving me lots of love.
He is Athos, and he's with Pawworks right now. And the sad story about this is he was the daddy of a backyard breeder.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how many puppies they had, but
so you're probably like a big stud, aren't you? How many puppies do you have?
Yeah. Well, we got one. He had a little boy, and we got him adopted out. He was already like a year old.
Mm-hmm.
He's about 3. But the reason we know this is the owner actually called us and said, "Those are my dogs." And we're like, "Okay, well, tell us the story." So the way Ventura County Shelter works is dogs are held by law for 5 days.
Yes.
On the 6th day, they're up for adoption.
Okay. Yeah, there's a hold. If they come in as a stray, there's a hold period.
But they also make rescue wait 24 more hours.
Right, after they're available.
So they're ready for us by the 7th day.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and pulled him on the 7th or 8th day that he had already been in the shelter. And 2-3 days later, we get a call from this woman saying, "Those are my dogs." And we're like, okay. And she told us that she went to the shelter. She called the shelter. The shelter never had her animals. Even though all these animals are in general population, every single one of them goes on a website, on an app.
People lie.
Of course. And she even admitted that, she had puppies with her. She still has the female and I think another girl. But thank God they don't have the boy anymore, and he's neutered. But she wanted the dogs back. And she said she was going to make a big deal at the shelter, and we're like, go for it. It's like,
it's the law. And how did he get out? And how did he end up in the shelter?
Not only that, it happens. Like I've said on previous shows, I've had animals get out. I've had dogs get out. It happens to everybody.
That's why we need a microchip.
That's why you need a microchip. But to wait 9 days to go to the shelter, anybody, and you can't, I don't care, everybody has been in this country long enough. Everybody can understand the laws. If an animal goes missing, you make a report. There's now Craigslist. You make a report with the shelter.
Well, and that's a big thing, too. People don't, like you said, people do Craigslist, Facebook posting. Most cities have, I know there's Camarillo Missing Pets.
There's Camarillo. There's Simi Valley Missing Pets. There's an organization called Simi Valley Missing Pets.
Right. There's huge groups that's all they do is post if they find an animal, if there's a lost animal, that's all they do.
That's all they do.
And there's the other group, Search and Rescue group that you guys work with.
Dog Days Search and Rescue. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if a dog goes missing, all they do is search for it.
Exactly.
There's rescue
and
groups out there.
they go all up, L.A. They go everywhere.
And look how little this guy is.
Well, that's why they bred him, because he's a beautiful, sweet,
adorable.
He has a great disposition. All he wants to do is love you and give kisses.
I love him.
And can you imagine what the female dog went through? And who knows how many litters they had.
Right.
And they think...
for all we know, this could be her son.
And here's the thing, is people sometimes come into my store and scoff when I tell them the adoption fee is $250. But what they don't understand is that covers the spay and neuter, that covers all the vaccines, that covers the rabies, that covers the microchip. They have been dewormed. They have had a flea treatment. They've all been vetted, and they've all been groomed.
And some of these come in such bad shape. People don't understand. So this little guy is available now.
He's available now.
I love him. If I'm like, okay.
You can't have another one. No.
He's amazing. He's so much fun.
And as always, I always rush over back to the store because I'm hoping that all these babies will get adopted. So he'll be going to Pawworks at the Oaks Mall. If you have any questions about Athos, you can reach us.
Athos is about 3 years old, right?
He's about 3 years old. Great disposition.
So cute.
But the number is 805-852-1744, and our store's at the Oaks. And he's going to be there about 2 o'clock today. So he needs his forever home. And I think we've had a pretty good track record of everybody. I don't think there has
every
been
adoptable
one...
pet I think has been adopted as of today.
Yes.
So. Yep. I was there with Gipper. That was exciting.
Yes.
Because he went from our medical dog to our adoptable dog to his forever home. So that's
and the great thing about this, which I didn't tell you, is one of our top volunteers that comes, a young lady. It's actually a coworker of hers, so she's still in contact with Gipper, and so we get little feedback and little stories about him. And
those are always nice.
They absolutely love him. So it's a really small world how this works.
He's a fun boy, and he went from being on quarantine and was going to be put to sleep at Downey to to this fabulous home. So, I mean, it's this little guy. I'm obsessed with him now. I'm obsessed with him.
And so Athos is a Papillon Chihuahua. He's about 3 years old. Sweet as could be. All he wants to do is give you kisses. He's cleaning you right now.
Oh, right.
Which that's never happened to you before, right?
No, I've never had that happen. And I also want to mention too, because they can look up on your website and your Facebook page.
It's pawworks.org, or you just type in Pawworks on Facebook and Animal Foundation of America.
And then we have this show is actually on live feed also. So what is that? What is that website? Well, you could go on crntalk.com and you could watch the video live and you could see this picture of this guy.
And if you miss any of our shows,
my goodness.
All of our shows up to date are on YouTube as well.
Yes, so you can watch Rescue Radio and you can see this little guy just giving me so much love. Oh my goodness.
So Athos, 3 years old, Papillon Chihuahua mix, gonna go straight to Pawworks store at the Oaks Mall.
And the number again? The phone number there?
805-852-1744. He gets along great with everybody. I haven't seen him dislike anybody. Even children.
I'm special. I'm special. I don't care.
You are special.
So he'll be there later today. If I don't you need to come home with me. You're so cute. So yes, but the importance of spay and neuter, because they were using him to breed, to make money, and we've got too many dogs in the shelter already.
Too many. And if you heard in the last segment, in the 3 zip codes, just 3 zip codes in Downey, over 20,000 animals have come in, and the euthanization rate is about half.
50%.
50%. So you're listening to CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love him.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant, because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio, this CRN Digital Talk.
And we are now on to our call section. So if you have any questions, any comments, any stories, seems the hot topic today is spay and neuter. You can call us at 818-353-1276. And I believe we have somebody online.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to patch her in. So we have Jenny. She's from Dr. Y's office. And Dr. Y's office has been amazing for Animal Foundation of America. They've done some great things. And they're actually treating my girl Ariel, which is the one I'm all fired up about today. And the reason that we need to spay and neuter our pets. So I've got Jenny. Welcome to Rescue Radio.
Jenny.
This is Christina. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you so much for calling in. So I know that you guys have been amazing for Animal Foundation of America, and you've helped us with so many of our pets. And I want to, our segment today, obviously I'm all fired up today about spay and neuter and the importance of spay and neuter. And you guys are helping us right now with Ariel, who's our girl that we pulled from Downey Animal Shelter, and she had an emergency situation this morning. And I know you're calling to kind of give us an update what her status is.
So, yeah, what's going on with Ariel right now?
Ariel is currently under anesthesia right now. She is being spayed while we're speaking. We did do her emergency C-section. She did have 2 puppies, one that she delivered on her own that did not make it, and unfortunately the second puppy also was not viable. This puppy was born with olive organs on the outside of our body.
Oh, wow.
And with a cleft lip as well, which...
So Ariel has gone through all of this trauma and for not even bringing in life into this world.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, so... All right, so we did the emergency C-section. It was something that we deemed was necessary because at the time she still had 2 live babies that were inside of her after ultrasound, and those 2 babies now obviously have not made it. She had 1 at the house also. So this is a situation where people need to spay and neuter their pets. I mean, it's not fair to her, it's not fair to Ariel, and it's just not fair.
And beyond that, Jenny, can you tell us, I'm assuming you had to do the C-section because of emergency. I don't know if she was bleeding out or the puppies were too big and not coming. What was the purpose so that the listeners can understand that this was a medical emergency? All of them could have died. We have been able to save Ariel's life at the moment. But what led you guys to do the C-section?
Well, given the fact that it had been over an hour and a half between her last puppy and this puppy, that's a pretty long time to go. She was straining, so she knew she needed to have another puppy, but she wasn't able to. This puppy was extremely large, given the size of the mom. Even if the puppy were viable, I mean, there's no way she would have had this puppy on her own. It wasn't physically possible for her to deliver this puppy on her own. On top of that, we have a mom that's straining to have a puppy, and on ultrasound, the puppy was still alive.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to wait. There's infection risk. There's risks of, just like it is with humans. I mean, there's risks of them dying, and we want to try and avoid that as much as possible.
And so sadly, we have not been able. You guys were not able to save the puppies just because one was born, unalive, and the other one had the organs outside with the cleft.
Correct.
Cleft palate.
We did have to make the immediate decision that,
of course,
that unfortunately, keeping this puppy alive is not fair.
So that also the listeners understand, since she's already in surgery and you've already done the C-section. A lot of people are probably wondering, because they're not educated and they don't understand, why would you then go and do the spay? I know why, because I'm in rescue. You don't want to put a dog under anesthesia twice. It's very harmful to even human beings. So, but maybe you can, from a medical standpoint, explain that to people.
Yeah, I mean, from a medical standpoint, obviously, from a rescue standpoint, we want to make sure this dog does not have to go through this ever again. We don't want to have any more puppies than are already on this planet. But from a purely medical standpoint, it's dangerous. I mean, one, putting any animal under for even routine, what we would consider a routine procedure. You don't want to do it back to back. You want to, eliminate as many anesthetic procedures as possible. So she's already under, she's already open. It makes, more sense for her, so we don't have to worry about infection afterwards. We don't have to worry about, incisions on the uterus rupturing open and there being, bleeding. It just makes more sense just to go ahead and take everything out.
And it's an additional, 15, 20, 30 minutes to finish up?
Yeah, correct.
So it's a minute amount of time. It's not
Absolutely.
long at all. So It makes perfect sense. I mean, these animals, when we do this, have already gone through so much trauma. Their bodies have gone through so much trauma. Their life, again, I will reiterate this is, dogs have the mental capacity of probably a 2 to 4 year old, depending on, the type of dog. So imagine your 2 to 4 year old going through this birth and then losing their babies. And I mean, a lot of times people don't realize also that dogs or cats have postpartum. You know, there's that loss that they feel because all the hormones have rushed into their body.
Absolutely.
Well,
she's going to wake up and not have.
Wow, she's going to have no puppies. And, well, thank you very much, Jenny. I appreciate you calling in. And I think that the importance of this segment is for people to understand that we must spay and neuter our pets before we ever get to this point so that we don't have a mama being rushed in for emergency surgery.
Yes, this was completely avoidable if people had done what they should have done.
If people would have done right by her in the beginning, then we wouldn't be facing this tough day today. I know it's tough for me as the rescue, and I want to thank again Dr. Y's office. They've been fantastic.
Thank you, Jenny, for calling today.
So thank you, Jenny. Thanks for calling in, and I'll touch base with you very soon about my girl.
And you're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpantocin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpantocin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Oh, CRN listeners, this is Michael Horn, inviting you to join me and my co-host, Sommelier Nicole Nielsen from Roost Chris Steakhouse as we present What's Cooking on Wine. Find out about the latest trends in wine, great food, spirits, and a whole lot more. It's What's Cooking on Wine, done live at 6 o'clock Monday nights at Roost Chris Steakhouse in Pasadena, California, and then the replays throughout the weekend right here on CRN. So if you love wine and you love great food, it's What's Cooking on Wine right here on CRN.
Okay, welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
So this has been a very emotional day, from frustration and anger and outrage to tears.
Right. Well, I think what I want to get across here is people need to understand what we do as a rescue group. It's not all fluffy puppies. It's not all, oh, look how cute they are, the cute little kittens. I mean, we're dealing with other people's irresponsibility, and we deal with it every day.
And beyond that, it's our blood, sweat, and tears. It's our heart. I don't think any of us, we're all a little crazy. that do this.
Well, you have to be.
You
have to be a little off.
But our hearts when we do this is pure, and we do want to make a difference. We want to show people that there's a better way.
There is. I mean, definitely spay and neuter them, so dogs don't have to go through what Ariel's going through right now.
Yeah, it makes it breaks our heart to know these young dogs. And even old dogs. I mean, people will breed into however. If the puppies are coming out cute, those dogs until
Athos, let me tell you, he's lucky he got out at 3 years old.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily taken him, to 10, 15 years old, where he's barely able to walk, but he could still produce puppies. So we have to spay and neuter. So we're going to have, we have Rescue Radio on Facebook. So like us on Facebook. We'll have everyone's stories on
Tell
Facebook.
all your friends about us. We're on our 6th week here. We want to make this every week. 52, weeks out of the year. We want to make this, but we need your support and your help to continue doing this.
And we want people to understand what's out there, what the true life is in animal rescue and what it's like. So next week's show, again, we're going to be on next week at 12 o'clock.
12 to 1.
And the phone number here, if anyone wants to call in, if they have rescue stories or things that they want to discuss with us about rescue is
818-353-1276. And as you were saying, Facebook, Rescue Radio, Facebook, Animal Foundation of America, Facebook, Paw Works. Sometimes just sharing, even if you like us. And I know we post quite often because we have so much going on.
Right.
Your hands are always in it. We have a little bit bigger organization, so our hands are always in it, but we're able to post and we're able to show the stories along the way.
To update people.
When your hands are in the middle of, carrying a mama who's giving birth.
Getting her to the emergency room.
You can't take a picture of that and get it on Facebook, even though it probably should be so that people understand.
You know what? I'm going to put a picture up of Ariel. She's such an amazing girl, and she didn't deserve to go through this.
But could you imagine that miracle of birth if you had shown the picture of her bloody and the dead puppy? I mean, it's graphic, and it's horrible to think about. And everybody's going to be like, why'd you show that? Why'd you show that? But you have to show
reality. It's reality, and she had to go through it, and we had to go through it, and we need to change, and we can do it. And then, we also have your adorable boy, Athos, who's available. He's going to be at Paw Works today.
Straight from here. He's going to the Thousand Oaks Mall, Paw Works. And if you can't make it over there, give us a call. But, he is up for adoption. I can't say we'll hold him, but it's 805-852-1744.
And he was very comforting to me today. So, and I also want to mention real quick, I want to thank Dr. Y's office in Westlake Village. I mean, they've been really fantastic, and they were like, bring her in. And she's in surgery now, and it saved the mom's life. We weren't able to save any of the puppies, but we were able to save mom. And
it's always great when we can find those vets that we can bond with and work with, and we know we can call them at the drop of a hat and they'll fit us in.
And they have a hectic schedule today on a Saturday, and she's doing an emergency.
I mean, you have Dr. Y in Westlake. We have Stacy Rothman at Westlake Village Animal Hospital, and Matt Stanman in
Matt
Soman.
Stanman's been fantastic. He's helped me with
those are our
too.
two that have really grown close to us and grown with our organization. But people don't realize it takes everybody. It takes our listeners, it takes our donors, it takes our volunteers, it takes our fosters, it takes educating.
Yes, we can do it. I mean, every one of us, we're one person, so we can do it. I'm one person, you're one person, but we're making a difference for these dogs, and so can everyone else
and
out
we'll
there.
have much more to talk about next week. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Have a great weekend.
The radio channels, CRN.